There exists an ancient order that mastered control over their minds, unlocking a hidden power that allowed them to open their third eye and perceive things beyond ordinary senses. This dark art, known as mental cognizance, has persisted through time, offering immense wealth, life-saving insight, and boundless fulfillment. You are about to experience mental cognizance.
I have this very vivid memory of when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I would pick up the same book, and it would probably be like those childish little books, like Wimpy Kid books. You might know those books. I would read those books for hours straight. And when I mean hours straight, I don't mean like 1, 2 hours. I mean like half the day, and I'm just sitting and reading the same book. I would finish half the book in one session, in one sitting with my little child brain. I was able to finish half of an entire book. And granted, they weren't like very complex books, but they were still challenging to my level. Here's little like grade 6 me reading Diary of the Wimpy Kid, or grade 5, whatever. I was very young at the time. And I'm reading the book, and halfway, literally, I finished half the book in one session. I had a lot of mental clarity and focus, and I was able to stay focused and zoned in on one task without any like ADHD symptoms of like, let me do something else. I was able to stay focused and like have true focus. What we call this state of being in flow, of being in focus, of being in mindfulness, of being able to zone in and focus and truly comprehend everything that's going on around you. This state of pure awareness, what we call this is cognizance. And then as I grew up and got older, I lost this ability. This ability of mine of pure cognizance was lost to time. Or was it really time? See, when I started growing up, I started consuming garbage. The rise of Musical.ly. If you guys remember what Musical.ly is the ancestor of TikTok, right? Where like people would just dance and shit and like make like short form videos. The rise of Musical.ly came, and I was invested into that. The rise of Vine. Do you remember Vine? Vine was like this app where people would make like funny 7-second videos. The videos were 7 seconds max, and they were like flashy, sound effects and shit. And then Vine started rising, and I was just binge watching funny Vine compilations on YouTube. And then came, of course, the rise of pure infinite scroll short form content. And then came TikTok, which is the rise of basically filth. There's TikTok, there's now Instagram Reels, there's YouTube Shorts. And this led to moments where, you will relate to this by the way, moments where I'm watching a video, right? And this still happens sometimes to this day to people, including myself, where I watch a video and it's a very informative video, right? And I'm like watching it and I'm focused. And then my mind just floats around, and then I go back 30 seconds to like listen to the last 30 seconds of what the guy was talking about. And then my mind floats away again. And then I go back 30 seconds, and I keep doing this for like 4 times until I'm like, I focus and listen on what the video is saying. Listen to what the video is saying. You might relate to this. You're watching something, and then you go back like 15 seconds, and then like you continue watching, but then you realize you didn't comprehend the knowledge. You go back 15 seconds, and then you go back again for the 3rd time, and then this time you comprehend it. And this happens if you read nowadays. A lot of people, when they read the paragraph, and they're like, what the fuck did I just read? Do you remember the thing I said 5 minutes ago? No, you don't, because of the anti-cognizance revolution, which I will fix for you now. And you know what's so interesting? People nowadays say like, mindlessness is a sign of intelligence. Bad handwriting is a sign of intelligence. Laziness is a sign of intelligence. Such fucking cope. I feel like this is cope to make people who are, like this feel better about themselves. People who say like, ADHD and depression is a chemical imbalance. Well, okay, sure, it's a chemical imbalance. What caused the chemical imbalance, bro? It was you monkey. You caused that shit. Oh, I'm depressed. I'm depressed because my serotonin levels are low and I have no happiness inside of me. Well, no shit, you sit inside like a goblin being a chronic online peasant. People go outside and touch grass. They're not really depressed. Bro, grass touchers are never depressed. It's always the same kind of person you can visualize. A guy who just sits at home on his crusty computer chair with a fucking neck beard and a recessed jaw because of his shitty posture and a fat gut hanging out and alcohol and pizza and Mountain Dew and video games, and the controller literally has bugs on it from the food crusts. It's always that same person. So when people say, oh, but laziness is a sign of depression, stop coping. Stop bullshitting yourself. Now, I was this person who barely could focus. I genuinely was this person. I would find myself reading paragraphs and watching those videos all the time. I'd like go back 5 seconds. Okay, go back 5 seconds. Okay, I wouldn't comprehend it. It was just this loop of like, what the fuck is going on? My mind wasn't comprehending what I was reading or watching. But I fixed it. I found a way to fix it, and it changed my life forever. Instead of being that broke little monkey who was fat and couldn't attract women, my life changed forever. I make tens of thousands of dollars a month. I work a job that fulfills me, that I love. I can afford to literally live a life of location, financial, and time freedom. I can speak to women without stuttering and shutting down. My life has like exploded in terms of quality after I fixed this mindlessness issue. Now, the reason all of this garbage happens to your brain and you can't focus is simply mindlessness, like we just explained. I want you to understand that right now your mind is a landfill of garbage. It's literally a landfill of garbage. Your mind is plagued with stress. Your mind is plagued with thoughts about what this girl said to this guy who said this and then said this to you, and then he replied with a reaction on the Snapchat group who is just filled with garbage. It's filled with brain rot. It's filled with literally brain rot. Your mind is literally plagued with filth, with just brain rot that makes no sense and has no reason to be in your brain. I want you to visualize mindlessness as a black corruption, as a black goo, as a black mist, almost like Venom's symbiote from Spider-Man. I want you to visualize as like this black goo that infects your brain. This is what mindlessness is. This is what brain rot is. This black goo that infects your brain from sources that, well, I obviously just discussed. Short form and this bullshit. So what causes mindlessness? What causes this black goo to start infecting your brain? Like I said, it was a short form content. It's refined carbs and it's garbage processed foods like seed oils, like fucking Crisco, like a food where you see the ingredient list is over 50 plus ingredients, where you see like chemical names inside of the food, methyl sulfate, chloride, like these weird things inside the food that shouldn't exist. 50 plus ingredient list, refined carbs, and short form content. This stuff breeds the black goo in your brain that infects it and causes mindlessness and causes you to be unable to focus and causes shitty mental health. So how do you solve mindlessness? There are two ways to attack this black goo inside of your brain. One is direct and one is indirect. The first one is literally the antidote to this black goo. Visualize it as this white light that purges the garbage from your brain. That's literally like this spread of light and purity inside of your brain. Your brain, like the crevices in your brain are filled with black goo right now. You send this white light to infiltrate your brain and it spreads its own purity and light and the fixing of what your brain is. And this white light I'm talking about is mindfulness meditation. This is the antidote to the black corruption that enters your brain. It is mindfulness meditation, because think of it, short form content is literally the opposite of meditation. If you really think about it, meditation is focusing on one thing for a prolonged period of time, such as the breath, such as the way your stomach bulges when you breathe in and breathe out, such as the way gravity pulls down on your body. You focus on that feeling for a prolonged period of time through meditation apps. My favorite one is called Medito. It's literally focusing on one thing for a prolonged period of time. Short form content and TikTok rubbish is the opposite, quite frankly, literally the opposite of that. Scroll, you find something you don't like, next thing, next thing, next thing, next thing. You don't focus on one thing for a prolonged period of time. It is a completely different topic than the video you were just, you can't even call them videos anymore, than the clip you were just watching. Oh, feminist argues with some random thing. You get bored. Next thing. Oh, I cooked a steak and fucking Nutella. Oh, next thing. Oh, it's slime. Do you see how like far you get? And the thing is, you'll relate to this as well. Go scroll on whatever you're gonna scroll on for a while. Obviously, I don't advocate for this shit, but this is just for an experiment. Next time you scroll and find yourself pulled to this disgusting devil loop, find and ask yourself if you remember what you just scrolled by 5 reels ago, or 5 shorts ago, or 5 TikTok. I don't even know what the TikTok thing is. 5 TikTok clips ago, right? You will not remember. You genuinely won't remember, because it's just rot. It's just brain rot that enters your mind and goes out. But what's left inside is just the black corruption, the black rot. So the way to directly attack this and it's literally the antidote, the opposite to it. It's so interesting. It's like black and white. The visualizations go perfectly with this, the black corruption and the white light. Meditation. Simply meditation. I've made videos on meditation in the past. Let me know if you want a full meditation guide, an updated guide on meditation. The next indirect way to stop this bullshit black corruption is to remove the sources. Sources of this black corruption are, well, the short form shit that you watch, the refined carbs, because I've spoken about carbs in the past. Basically what they do is they make your brain shut down, they spike insulin through the roof, and they just put you in this lower frequency brain dead mood where you just want to sit down and relax and do nothing, right? It's almost like the feeling you get after an ejaculation. You just want to sit down and do nothing and melt away into the bed and exist. That's what you want to do. Carbs do that to you, especially refined carbs. The carbs you get from like an orange, they kind of have that effect, but nowhere near the extent of, let's say, white bread with the 50 ingredient list, or like cake frosting. Nowhere near. Imagine you eat like bro, I used to eat slices of cake for breakfast as a child. That was fucked of me. But I didn't know of the effects. I would eat that and I would shut down. Literally, I would shut down. So remove refined carbs, remove the short form shit, go uninstall TikTok now, man. Third one was remove seed oils. I'm not gonna get deep into that one with this video. I've made other videos. It just destroys your testosterone. It has a huge imbalance of omega-6 to omega-3s, which is really, really, really bad for your endocrine system and just for your brain in general. It's just very unnatural, and it affects and destroys your endocrine system and your mitochondrial function. So just stay away from that shit, okay? No seed oils, that shit's not natural. Eat whole, natural foods without ingredient lists that are 50 plus ingredient names long, okay? Stay away from that shit. So no short form, no refined garbage foods, and no seed oils. No more filth should infiltrate your brain. You are better than this, bro. How much do you value yourself as a man? How much do you value your brain? How much do you value your attention? Are you really gonna let like some fucking weird Chinese kid who studied human psychology for years? The thing is, it's hard because these guys know exactly what will hook you. But I believe in you. I believe you are stronger than this. I believe you can battle the filth that is sent towards your way, because they have really good weapons. Like, they study these, the people who invented the algorithms and these apps are extremely intelligent, but they use it for evil. They use it to corrupt your mind, and they use it to send and bombard your brain with garbage propaganda and meaningless brain rot to keep you weak, to keep you brain dead, and to keep you stupid so you don't revolt against the elites. Oh, conspiracy sounds crazy, sounds schizophrenic. We'll see in a few years if I was right or wrong, bro. But they do this to you. Okay, they do this to you. If you're on this channel, you believe in this garbage, you believe that things are deeper than they seem from the outside. TikTok is not just an innocent little app. It's a propaganda machine. So stay away from that shit. Do you value your brain more than just brain rot? Haha, lol. Let me think of some brain rot meme, man. I can't even think of... I'm glad I'm away from this, like, this meme culture of random fucking bullshit, bro. I'm trying to think of like some brain rot meme. Fucking skibidi. Bro, I don't know, man. This is just fucking stupid cringe shit. You should value your time. You should value your attention. You should value yourself. You should value what you spend your time learning. You should value what you spend your time doing. You're a man. Not even just men, bro. Everyone should value their time more than corrupting their fucking brain with filth, please. I promise you, the more you stay away from this shit, the better your life will improve. You don't want to end up with your child being lost, being one of those iPad kids who just scrolls and plays Subway Surfers with another phone on TikTok. These children are lost. They will be headed to a lifetime of hardship. You don't want your children to be like that. You don't want your family to be like that. So if you're not going to do it for yourself, which you should, do it for your children, bro. Wish not for a lighter load, but for a stronger back.